As we get prepared for service, let's hold a moment of thought and prayer. Mahalo Kea Kua for the blessings this day brings. As we bring the spirit of aloha to the world, as we prepare for our service, I'd ask you to please shut your cell phones down. Make sure we don't have any distractions. Thank you so much. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, God. Aku mau mau, aku mau mau pa. Ho mai, ho mai, ho mai, ho mai ka iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no, awe mele ho mai, ho mai. Ho mai, ho mai ka iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no, awe mele ho mai, ho mai, ho mai, ho mai ka iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no, awe mele. Kakaiaka komamai. Good morning and welcome, Unity of Kona. I'm Uncle Jim, or Jim Carey, however you like to do it. And it's my honor to be here at the platform today as we start the service, the Unity of Kona. And beautiful Kailua Kona, Hawaii, spreading out to the world via the internet. And we got YouTube and Facebook. And so joining us online, we welcome you all. And as we start the service with the Aomai prayer chant, the Aomai, the beseeching of the Great Spirit and our ancestors, for the wisdom of the stories being told. Well, one octave is the story being told, a higher octave, why would they be telling this story to their children? And the highest octave, beseeching the Great Spirit and our ancestors for the wisdom of life experiences that become our stories. With that knowledge, we never have to repeat them over and over again. So as a fitting prayer chant for Aila A, the dawning of a new day, we get a new chance to start over and do better every day of our lives. And so it is. Amen. Mahalo Kea Kua, thank you, God. And as we get started with the service, I'd please like to ask everybody to stand as we do our vision, mission, and affirmation for the month. Here we go. And for the month, we got embracing life's joyful balance together. I embrace a balanced and fulfilling life. I have more than enough. And so it is. Here at Unity, we come together with a vision, a world family of oneness, peace, and love, with our mission to inspire spiritual growth and service through the active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. And so it is. Mahalo Kea Kua. Thank you, God. And while I got everybody standing, we're going to get some singers on board as we do our opening song, We Come Together. So everybody get ready to jam out a little bit. The beautiful lay, the honoring of the altar of the person. It's a sacred ceremony. Here we go. Rock it with us.
Take a look at the person next to you. God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Ooh,
We come together.
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 in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Now look at the person next to you. They recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Ooh,
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
From every walk of life.
From every walk of life,
Every creed and color,
every creed and color,
and get your feel nice.
get your feel nice.
In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Ooh.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come
We
together.
come together.
We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Woohoo! Thank you, everybody. And as we now are standing, we want you to take a moment and greet one another here in the sanctuary. We always like to do that. And if you're joining us online, it's a great time to leave a little comment in the comment section, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're viewing from. And that way we can greet everybody, welcome everybody here in just a moment as we take a moment for fellowship here in the sanctuary. Thank you. Mahalo. Some new faces in here today. But it's always so fun to be here on Sunday morning, welcoming everybody after a week of all their activities. And now we all come together. Hi, how you doing? What an honor it is to be here every Sunday morning when Kailua Kona sharing the light of love as we say Mahalo Keakua. Thank you, God, for everybody being here. Joshua, how you doing? Good to see you. And now's the time in the service. We'd like to ask anybody who's visiting, or maybe it's been a while since you've been here, if you'd like to please stand and tell us where you're from. We'd like to greet you for sure. PJ, aloha. The women's workshop. Oh, the meditation. Awesome. Well, yeah. Well, we're so glad to see you, PJ. Absolutely. Welcome. Absolutely. And dear? Kathy. Oh, okay. Yeah. And it resonates with us all. Well, welcome, Kathy, from Bend, Oregon, originally. Hi. Okay. Well, awesome. Oh, Springfield, Missouri. Well, welcome, Melanie. We're good to see you again. Absolutely. And I guess that's it in the sanctuary, but people also joining us online, if you're leaving comments, we'd like to send it out as a congregation. A great big aloha and God bless you. Welcome, everybody. Whew. And now's the time in the service we'll move through a few announcements. But first and foremost, we are a prayer ministry. The prayer works in our lives, and our prayer request forms look like this. They're on the back table over there. Drop the prayer request into the box. Our chaplains pray over them there, and then send them on to Silent Unity. Silent Unity has 30 days of continuous prayer vigils in Lee Summit, Missouri. And so it really is an amazing place. I used to park my semi back by the dumpsters and spend the weekends at Unity Village. It's a really an amazing place there that Unity has, and so definitely a place that you might want to check out. We also have the Be Unity app. Download this on your iPhone, Android, and get instant connection to prayer through Unity Village. That app also offers you all kinds of direct connections, watch inspirational meditative videos, and hundreds of articles. And so there's a lot going on with the Silent Unity, and so we all know the power of prayer. So utilizing that gathering and the power of prayer is definitely the way to get things moving in your life. So let's all be useful of this power of prayer. And now for a few more announcements, I've asked Sean to come up and give us a few more announcements. Welcome, Sean. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I just love coming here. All right, congratulations, Mamie. She is our team member of the month. Mahalo, Mamie, for your loving service and in our spiritual center. We are so blessed to have you at Unity of Kona. Mamie is a longtime member who brings food for fellowship, help with setup before and clean up afterwards, help with circulation day, bake sale, volunteers to decorate for the holidays, and is willing to step up when volunteers are needed. Mamie, your willingness to offer whatever support is needed to share your time, talents, and treasures with us is greatly appreciated. We love you, Mamie. Thank you. You are a bright light. Oh, I didn't finish that, did I? You are a bright light, and we're grateful for your spirit of aloha and willingness to serve. We love you. Today at noon, we have our crystal healing session and individual energy healings. We hope you join us after fellowship today. Clyde facilitates our weekly Qigong classes on Monday mornings from 8 to 8:45 at the Old Kona Airport State Beach Park. As soon as you go through the gate, go to the left, and it's the first beach. And on Monday evenings from 6 to 7, ukulele, Kanakapila-style jam sessions from beginners to experts here in the sanctuary. Bring a uk, and there are some available for you to use, and come and learn, play, and share. I hear it's a good time. Denise leads a monthly energy healing share class on Tuesday, September 12th, from 6:30 to 7:30. This class is open to the public and only energy practitioners of all levels to both give and receive healing from each other. So if you're an energy practitioner and you want to share some healing and get some, this Tuesday's right here is where the place to be. Reverend Sophia facilitates a Wisdom Wednesdays from 11:30 to 12:30 here in Hawaii time. This is a weekly virtual gathering for Unity's members and like-minded individuals to engage in inspirational teachings, affirmative prayer, and guided meditations, creating a sacred space for spiritual growth and community support. The Zoom link is posted in the newsletter and on Facebook. Bianca Gutierrez will facilitate a breathwork workshop here in the sanctuary on Saturday, September 14th at noon. Bring water and a yoga mat, pillow, and eye mask if you desire. Some mats and pillows are available on a first-come, first-served basis. The cost is $25. Hope you will all join us. If you have not been getting Unity of Kona's weekly newsletter in the email box, Elaine would like to know about it. As soon as our service is over, she will be set up in the office area upstairs to help correct the subscription status of anyone who would like to start getting the newsletter again. Please stop by and talk with her. Some of our ohana is in need of food items, so please bring food items that do not require refrigeration and not much cooking, such as canned or packaged dry foods. There's a box at the top of the stairs labeled Hawaii Food Basket. Will be collected to collect the items. Mahalo nui for your generosity. And as you know, it takes a village to run our spiritual center, and we appreciate everyone. Kindly consider supporting Unity of Kona by becoming a contributor and sharing your time, talent, and treasures. There are several sign-up sheets in the back of the sanctuary for you to consider, along with a refreshment sign-up sheet upstairs. Thank you.
Mahalo nui, Sean. That was amazing, and I really appreciate your service and everything you do around here also. So thank you, Sean, so very much. Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah. And now we're going to move forward with our daily word. And so for today, I've asked Tani Golden, would you please come up and do our daily word for us? Thank you, Tani.
Later. Rest. As he asked me, are you getting rest? Oh, good, you're rested. You can read this. It's about rest. Making time for rest rejuvenates me. This is from Monday.
Maybe it's this one. Togetherness.
But that's September 1st.
That's September 1st. Okay, all right. Hold on, show.
Cut.
Cut. Yeah, we'll come
Rewind.
back to this. Sunday, September 8th. Oh, we had grace.
Oh,
See,
I'm
it's
better
all
at that.
forgiveness. It's all forgiven. Yeah, we have grace.
okay. Grace. Okay, we're good. Through divine grace, I am abundantly blessed in every way. Boy, it's true. Grace is an awareness that wherever I am, God is. It is my reminder to let God be God in me. Grace assures me that I am never alone on my journey through life, that no matter what I do or fail to do, I am unconsciously loved and accepted at the level of spirit. Grace touches every area of my life. In a lonely moment, grace is the overwhelming awareness that I am loved. It is the surprising way through a challenge I considered unresolvable. It is my whole body suddenly glowing with the power of divine life, even as I experience a health challenge. There are just some of the many ways I experience grace. Grace need not be, nor can it be, earned. It is a divine gift, available at every moment. As I open my heart to divine grace, I am filled with indescribable peace. Hebrews 13:25. Grace be with you all.
Mahalo, Tani. Since we got it on the board, let's do it together. Through divine grace, I am abundantly blessed in every way. And so it is. Woo, what an amazing day we have for us here today. And as we get started with it, it's time to just relax and get comfortable in your seats as we do a little visualization. Let's visualize the sanctuary as well as the sanctuary of your soul. So get comfortable where you are and take a deep breath. And in this breath, let's visualize together the sanctuary as a beautiful heart. Breathe in and feel that loving energy of those around you. Breathing and flowing in and through you. See that loving energy flowing around every person in this sanctuary. And then growing out, spreading out to the community and to every being on this earth and in this world. And now, if there are any events or circumstances in your life or anyone you know in need of prayer, let's take a moment in silence and see them in the center of what we just created, this most beautiful, loving heart. As we visualize this light of love, let's come together and do our prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Mahalo keakua, thank you, God. And we'll take a breath as we move into the next section of a little bit of soft music. So Jaylyn is performing now for us once a month and taking over for Faith Rivera, who is taking a new endeavor. And we wish her very well. So Faith, good luck to you. And now we welcome Jaylyn. Jaylyn has been amazing. She's been here a couple of times now, and so she's a really great addition to our music as we welcome her coming into a Zoom from Oahu, I believe. She's a singer, songwriter, producer, as a performer. She has performed world-renowned venues, all over the world. So Blue Note, Hawaii, Ukulele Virtuoso. There's so many names. I'm just going to kind of go through this. But she is just an amazing. We're really honored to have her doing some music for us here at the Unity of Kona. So please welcome Jaylyn Lofton.
Aloha, everyone. Hi, good morning. This first song I wanted to share just to remind you to embrace all the moments that you live, even as we age. I'm 15 for a moment, caught in between 20 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment, and she feels better than ever, and we're on fire, making our way back from Mars. 15, there's still time to lose. 15, it's never a wish better than this. Only got 100 years to live. I'm 33 for a moment. Time to ride, time to lose. 15. I'm 45 for a moment. The sea is high and I'm heading into a crisis. Chasing the years of my life. 15 minutes of time, time to find something to lose. Then yourself a morning star. Never wish better than this. Only got 100 years to live. Half time goes by, suddenly oh, another blink of an eye. 67 is gone, the sun is getting high. I'm 99 for a moment, dying for another moment, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. 15 minutes of time for you, time to buy, time to lose. 15, there's never a wish better than this. Only got 100 years to live.
Well, thank you, Jaylan.
Thank you so
We're having a little bit of musical issues with the guitar and stuff, so we'll have to work on that before your next performance. But God bless you
Okay.
there, and thank you so much.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
maybe a little more
Thank you so
guitar, the
much.
microphone down a little or something, so we can hear things for the next song.
Can
But
you hear it?
it's a
I
technical
think
issue
it's,
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
But we're not getting any of the
how about-
guitar or something.
How about now?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Okay.
Well,
all right, we'll
I
figure
hope
it
you
out.
enjoyed the a cappella version.
We did. Thank you so much. All right. Everybody recognizes the song. I see people mouthing along with you there, so it's all good. And now is
Yes,
the time.
oh yeah, I love that song.
Absolutely. All righty, so now we're going to go into our meditation and message. And so we have Kayla Harvey doing Shifting the Narrative, and another week in our program here, 15 weeks of all kinds of new growth. And so please welcome our president of the board and public speaker, Kayla Harvey.
All right, while we get all the tech going on, just find yourself a comfortable spot. All right, let's begin by just relaxing our body. Close your eyes if that feels good. And gently allow your body to settle. Begin to notice your breath and the gentle rise and fall of your chest. That natural rhythm of inhale and exhale. With every breath, feel your body becoming more relaxed. Now bring your attention to your body, feeling the points of contact with your chair and the earth below you. Notice a grounding sensation as your body relaxes further into your chair. With each exhale, feel yourself becoming more centered, at ease and present in this moment. As your body and your mind calm, allow yourself to visualize standing at the base of a mountain or hill, The air is fresh, and you feel a sense of lightness in your being. As you begin to ascend and climb, with each step feeling effortless, you make your way up to a beautiful open vista. With each step, you feel even more free and expansive. And when you reach that top, you find yourself overlooking your life. From this vantage point, you can see it all. Every event, every moment spread out before you like a beautiful tapestry. From here, you've zoomed out from your normal perspective, and you can see each experience, no matter how challenging, and how it has served your growth and greatest good. Take a moment to breathe in this perspective. Notice how freeing it feels from up here, and how you can see everything from an alternative view. From here, you notice no projections from the past, and you can recognize times your story maybe didn't serve you. Seeing the bigger picture, it's clear now that every step of your journey has brought you closer to the true you. From this place of peace and clarity, you're free to choose a different narrative in each now moment. A narrative that honors how you want to feel, the guidance you've always been receiving, and your true divine nature. Feel the lightness that comes from this shift. The themes and worries of the past dissolve, and you recognize your true journey. Breathe into this perspective. And as you exhale, feel yourself anchored into a deep sense of peace. Stay here for a few moments and allow the feeling of clarity and peace to fully fill your being. Returning back to your center, returning back into your body, remembering where you are in this place, in your chair. We return to this moment together. When you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes. Allow yourself to come back to the presence of this moment. Returning, we open our eyes back together. Thanks for being here, everybody. We are going to take a look at our perspectives today. Have you ever been in a scenario where you thought something really awful in the situation was happening? Everything seems to be breaking apart. You don't like it. It's not going the way you've expected. And then in the end, maybe a day later, maybe weeks later, maybe it's months later, you come to see it as one of the best things that could have happened. It all works out and falls into place. The bad thing led you to this thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, and then you end up somewhere really great. Anyone ever had that experience? I know it's happened to me many times. You ever have an experience where you thought, I don't know if that person likes me? I don't think they like me very much. And then maybe a year later or something that happens and you actually run into that person and maybe you end up talking and they say something like, oh, to be fair, I didn't think you liked me. Has that ever happened to anyone? there was just a miscommunication of what was going on in the situation entirely. Yeah, it turns out that adult humans, just like the little humans, are really great observers of our world. We're kind of poor interpreters. We interpret everything from our own past and our own filters of the world, our own glasses, if you will. And we're often doing so from our own subjective reality. And that's ours alone. We don't share that with anyone else. So our subjective reality doesn't often line up with anyone else's truth, let alone the truth of reality. So in this chapter, that's what we get to explore. In fact, it's called Exploring the Opposites. It has us looking at how we see things and changing and challenging our perceptions. Now, this is one of my favorite topics. I really enjoy it. I actually made a job of it. Humans, in fact, are storytelling creatures. It's what we do. We make meaning out of everything. And the key there is we make meaning. Now, the problem with making meaning is that sometimes meaning doesn't need to be made. And also, sometimes, that meaning isn't true at all. It's completely within our mind. And the really sad part is that meaning that we made that likely is not true can hurt us. It can be painful. So what I do for a living is I help people look at their stories, help them feel heard about their stories, and then we might look for themes that arise within the stories. And they help us see labels that we're placing onto reality. And at that point, we get to see the beliefs that might be below that. And we get to decide whether we want those beliefs or not. So we start challenging them. And when we challenge our beliefs, so much can shift so quickly. We all received in the sanctuary here, if you're here, you received one of the affirmation cards. And the affirmation they suggest is that we look to commit to seeing that the opposite of my story is as true or truer than my original story. They ask us to consider recognizing that I interpret the world around me and I give meaning to the stories. I like this because they actually give us the alternative that you're already doing. If we're not committing to seeing the opposites, what we already committed to is believing my story and the meanings that I give it as pure truth. If we're not open to challenging them, we already have decided, we've committed to believing the stories that we tell ourselves. No matter how painful, whether we like them or not, we've committed. And it just doesn't feel as nice. Now, there are two elements to address within this: the notion of truth and attachment, and that need to be right that we have. We're going to look at both of them. But before we start validating or not, or shifting our perspective, let's look at this whole problem of believing our stories. Because we do all the time. And when we believe our stories, if they are negative, we can suffer. And we know this is a Buddhist belief as well. Our authors in the books, they write, "Just look at any complaint or judgment. At the root of both of these are something you think you are right about. Do you see that having to be right is making you suffer? To call it suffering might seem dramatic, but in our experience, those who look closely at the experience of believing their thoughts find some form of suffering. Whenever we don't allow reality to be what it is, we are in opposition to life. And opposition is the cause of suffering." So when we have a judgment, a negative story, and it might be something like, that person was in the wrong. That feeling comes from that belief that I know I'm right about that. It was not okay. It just wasn't. And maybe for you, the truth is that it didn't feel good, but that belief in that wasn't right is what's holding our suffering. And it keeps us imprisoned in that. They go on to say that the ego believes that unless it is right, it cannot survive. So the mind is addicted to believing that there's a right way to be. And I don't know about you, but I notice when I get upset about something, there's a part of me that I think has come to defend and protect me that's like, I'm holding on to that. Not good, didn't like that. In fact, even just this morning, I was irritated with my husband because the first thing he said, he woke up and said something sassy. And, and so I was like, And I go on and I'm practicing for my talk, but the whole time, that little voice is repeating itself like, oh, I didn't like that. And it's keeping that, and it's holding that. It's like waiting for him to get up and get dressed, just so I can be sassy towards him and be like, and ignore what he's going to say to me because I'm still mad. And I thought, do I like that part? I don't know, but I did notice it wanted to be there. And if I gave up the belief that I was upset at him, that part would go away. So it was holding on. So later we get to look at that. But it's true. When we hold on to that I'm right, we justify our emotions. We decrease the we decrease. I love it. Okay, that's hilarious. I just am combining two words and I can't. We decrease our discomfort in confusion because we get certainty if we're right. And we don't have to take accountability if we're right. There's nothing involved with me, it's you. And for a temporary moment, we increase a feeling of safety. Because we know we have certainty about what's happening. So that's why we like to be right. But being right has so many barriers to our growth and our happiness. I was literally repeating why I was mad so I could stay unhappy. That's wild. I didn't really want to be unhappy in the first place. It's crazy making. They say it's actually not the issue that causes the pain, but your interpretation of it. Life doesn't come with labels. It just comes. We give the labels to it, and the labels that we give to life determine how we experience it. So it's that label that I'm right that causes our suffering, not the sassy thing that was said. It's the fact that I labeled it as sassy that made it a problem that I'm sticking with. So we use this all the time in all sorts of healing and helping modalities, but this general concept of CBT, we look at a model that says our thoughts, beliefs, stories, whatever it is, impact and are impacted by our emotions. So the story I'm telling myself is going to make me feel a certain way, right? And those feelings and those thoughts affect how I'm going to act then. Whether it's I'm not going to talk. Whether it's I'm going to be sassy back. Whether it's I'm not engaging. And they affect each other. But if we can change any one of these, you can see the double-sided arrows? I can change any one of them, you can change the whole scenario. So today we're focusing on these thoughts. If we can change the narrative, if I can change that story, I can change how I feel, and then I can change how I show up. And really, I think most of us just want to change how we feel. We don't want to be upset until we're in it. Then I really do. I want to be upset. Just that one part, right? Just that one part. We've all been there. And is it okay for me to let go of that upset part? Because I don't really want it. This is a natural ripple effect that we can create by choosing to think differently. The first step in choosing to think differently is allowing ourselves to recognize that maybe, just maybe, there is no right story. Maybe there is no pure truth in what happened. And so there's an example they give in our book, and they're talking about three umpires. Three umpires were talking to each other, and they're having a philosophical debate about baseball. The first says, there are balls and there are strikes. I calls them as they are. The second one says, oh, no. There are balls and there are strikes, and I calls them as I sees them. And the third umpire says, guys, there are only pitches until I call them. Now, for the purposes, the first one believes that there are labels on everything, and it is his job to get the label correct. The second umpire believes that things have a label, and his interpretation of the label is what matters. Now, the third doesn't believe that anything has a label at all until he chooses to give it a label. Our authors are suggesting we open and expand our mind to the third umpire's philosophy. We can choose to believe that there is a good and a bad in life. We can choose to believe that we live by the perception or definition of our good and bad in life. Or we can choose to believe that there is no good or bad until we decide that it is good or bad. See, living consciously means that we have to take responsibility for being the labeler. You are the labeler. One of those automatic labelers that you can get, the label makers. Anybody have one of those once? Those are really fun, aren't they? You get to go around labeling everything, and it makes it really nice and pretty. Well, that's you. You do that naturally. You are inherently label makers. You get to choose how you want to label things. That's the cool part. And we get to question all the labels. Is that true? Is that really what that is? Question all the labels. It's kind of like a story that I know most of you have heard. It's like a story about a farmer who has a horse, and the horse gets loose, and the neighbors say, oh, that's so bad. And then 2 days later, the horse comes back with additional horses, 2 wild horses, and the neighbors say, oh, what good fortune, so good. And then, of course, one of the horses, while trying to train it, kicks the son and breaks his leg. And the neighbors say, oh, that's such bad luck. And then the people come around and they're drafting people into the army, and they skip over the son because he's got a broken leg. And the neighbors say, oh, that's so wonderful. Does anyone remember what the farmer himself says every time the neighbors have a label for his situation? Anyone remember? He says, maybe. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, I don't know. He waits. He waits to see how things are going to go. He doesn't immediately label any of these scenarios as good or bad. I think he's the freest one of all. So we can do that. We can ask ourselves instead of, oh, crap, what's this going to mean? We can say, what good will come of this? We can challenge our own thinking. Because here's the thing, you will find evidence for whatever you're looking for. Whatever you want to look for, you'll find it, right? It's the confirmation bias. The confirmation bias is what causes people to reinforce their beliefs through observation by seeking out information that supports the existing belief. We do this unconsciously all the time. We have selective attention. We only see the things that confirm. We also ignore or minimize anything that's contrary to our belief. In fact, we interpret ambiguous evidence as support. See? It's ambiguous. We choose sources of support to validate us. Anyone ever have a friend who believes the opposite politically as you do and continues to watch the same news source or listen to the same source that repeats the same information without checking anything? We're frustrated with this person, right? Because we all, and we all do this, we all seek the source of the information we want. This is a natural thing, and yet we have to ask ourselves, is this helping me? Is this what I want to feel? We have to remind ourselves we're often projecting from an old template that doesn't really work for us, outdated programs. So if we want to reinvent our lives, our emotions, what we're experiencing, we get to rewrite and reinvent our narratives. This is where we get to be challenged to look at the opposite. We get to reframe our thoughts, where we choose another way to describe what's happening. We challenge those automatic negative thoughts we have. And it takes curiosity. We allow ourselves to align back with divine mind. What if it all goes well? Because the truth is, there is a difference between objective and subjective truth. Objective truth is verifiable facts and evidence. Very few things fit into that pile. It's a really, really tiny amount of things. 99% of what we think and feel are subjective facts. Subjective facts. Subjective truth is our information and perception about things about we feel, our opinions, our emotions, a lot of assumptions that we have no way to validate, verify. So we're going to go through a process to taking a look at some of our negative thoughts and stories. I'd like you, for a moment, to just think of something in your life that you're dealing with that has a negative story to it. Maybe it's about your finances, or your love life, or your living situation. Maybe it's about politics or the economy. Whatever negative story you might have, that's not right. This isn't working. Oh, why this? We all have a few. Think about just one example in your life where you're not loving the story. It's not serving you. It's just not a good story. It doesn't make you feel good. Have that in mind as we go through a few questions. In our book, they give us a couple of questions by Byron Katie that are going to help us shift that narrative. And the one that they use, the story they use, is about a CEO who would like to retire, but he truly believes that if he does so, the whole place is going to fall apart. And so he has mixed feelings. He wants to leave, and he thinks it might serve him, but also everything will completely fall apart. And obviously, the writers of this book are there because something in that organization isn't working. So they start to help him question this belief, just to see if that's true. I don't know. So with your belief in mind and our example, we're going to go through these questions. The first one to ask ourselves is it true? Is it true? So be thinking about this narrative you have of something negative. The economy's not working. I'm going to be alone forever. My housing is screwed up. Whatever your belief is it true? Once you've had just a moment to think on that, they ask, can you absolutely know that it's true? They really want to drive this home. We can sit with it in our heart. Is it true? And then can I think of facts? Can I find objective, verifiable evidence that what I'm believing is absolutely true, every part of it? My hope is by now you're saying, okay, maybe I can't find exact facts, but there's a little wiggle room starting to open in our mind. Maybe a little window has opened up. A little bit of light is coming through. Maybe it's not true. Maybe not entirely. They asked this of that CEO, and he was willing to say, no, I guess I don't know. Because we don't know the future. We can't predict what's gonna happen. We don't know anything that hasn't happened for certainty. We can't predict what other people are gonna do. We don't know what they're thinking or feeling. So he was on board. Then we ask ourselves, how do I react? What happens when you believe that thought? Really ask yourself, what is happening? How do I react when I believe my negative story? What happens in my body? How do I act? What does this do? When the CEO thought of this, he realized it makes me stressed. I worry a lot when I believe my story. I usually jump in more, take more control when I'm believing that story. Actually, I think people get frustrated with me, he said. And I don't take care of myself. I do extra tasks because I'm worried. So when you think about your story, what does that do? Then be thinking, who would you be without that thought? If that story was not true, if you weren't thinking it, who would you be? Imagine taking away that negative emotion. Just simply what you could feel. Who you would be without that negative emotion that comes with the story. What you would feel instead. And if you felt that, how would you act? They use the next step called the turnaround, and they want us to explore the opposites. So the opposites of our story are going to be the flip around. So instead of I'm going to be alone forever, I won't be alone forever. We think about any form that we can shift. If there's a person's name, shift it to I. They had the CEO look and ask himself, what would fall apart if he didn't leave? They ask him how it would actually fall together if he left. And they also asked him to find evidence of how he would fall apart if he didn't leave. And they're not suggesting that these are all true. What they're saying is just explore the opposite. Can you find evidence, if you really think about it, for the opposite of your story? They encourage you really to practice finding 3 examples of evidence for every opposite. Because it is absolutely possible that the opposite is true right now. That this awful situation is actually preparing you, taking care of you, there for you. They say, as we let go of, if you're willing to be curious, the thoughts will let go of you. And as we let go of certainty, we open to this curiosity. And they ask us, would we rather be right or would we rather be free? So if the thought we are holding on to is painful, why hold it? Why hold it? So we are asking ourselves to be open that the opposite could be at least as true, if not truer, than our own current perception. We have to remember that everything happens for our greatest and highest good. If we are truly in that, the negative stories aren't there. When we're in negative stories, it's usually because we think, I must not be doing this right. Or, God, I think I'm being punished by the universe or karma or something, like what the heck? Or we think, everything is random. It's out of control. There is no one in control of this. Those are the kind of beliefs we must be having if we don't think that things are happening for our good. But if we can lean into our faith that there is only God the good in everything, if we can lean into that, then we can certainly open up our interpretations and we open ourselves to choice. Now we have a choice. Choice is the most freeing thing. You don't have to believe what you just thought of. You have no way of knowing what that person thinks or feels about you. You have no way of knowing what's going to happen on the other side of this. You can choose to believe the good thing. There's an essay on abundant thinking by at truthunity.net by Eric Butterworth. And he says, your mind is your world. Your thoughts are the tools with which you carve your life story on the substance of the universe. When you rule your mind, you rule your world. When you choose your thoughts, you choose results. Your life is what you think. Think straight, and your life will become straight for you. It's true. When we choose our thoughts, we choose our results. Anyone ever seen this meme? It's one of my favorites. It's become pretty popular. It was made by a Brazilian illustrator, Genildo Ronchi, in 2013, and it has been dubbed Two Guys on a Bus. But the original title translates to, "It just depends on us." And the original caption translates to, "Choose the happy side of life." This is a great example of two things that are equally as true. Yes, there is a negative side. There is something ugly to look at. Unless you love rocks, and then it's kind of cool too. I know I was thinking it could be cool too, to be honest. I think those rocks are kind of cool. But there's also a beautiful vista to look at as well. And you can choose which side you want to see life from. Both are at least as equally true. So I challenge you to examine your automatic thoughts and decide, do you want them? Look at the alternative. Was your partner really being sassy to you? Or were you actually being sassy to him this morning before that? Which is true, I was. I did. It was me when the alarm went off. I was like, stop moving, because I just wanted to sleep for 9 more minutes while the snooze was going on. So I was the one being sassy first. Okay, so just saying. Yeah, exactly. So it may not be true that someone was being sassy to you. It may be that you were being sassy to them. So there are alternative options to that. So I encourage you to challenge your automatic thoughts. Be open to alternative narratives. And instead of seeking validation, like, can you believe this happened to me? Ask your friend, can you help me see this differently? I'm stuck on this right now. Can you help me see this differently, please? Be open to joining that divine mind into seeing everything as working for you and enter the flow of joyous possibilities. And in this last moment, let's go over our affirmation together. Together? I commit to seeing that the opposite of my story is as true or truer than my original story. I recognize that I interpret the world around me and give my stories meaning. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Rewriting our own stories. What an opportunity for growth in ourselves and our world. And can't we all just get along? Let's rewrite these stories. I think that might help us out a little bit. Now's the time in the service where we'll take our gifts and offerings in hand as we'll get ready to do our offertory blessing prayer. Yes, that's where I'm at. And so as we have our ushers getting ready to come forward, we'll hold our gifts, and there are many ways in which we can make a donation in which we are abundantly grateful. It's going to appear up on the screen. We have the PayPal, we have the tithing bowls, and any way you'd like to serve, we really appreciate your blessings for the church. And for anyone with spare change, feel free to add it to that building box in the back over there. That's our building fund. And so spare change, a little bit at a time. Let's get into a sanctuary here for the unity of Kona. And so now I'll ask you to hold your hand in your gift, a gift in your hand, I'm sorry. And together, join me in saying offertory prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. And with that wonderful affirmation and the affirmations of life in our series, we get better every day. And so with now, we come back to Jaylyn, and we'll give this another try. Jaylyn, how you doing over there?
Hi. All right, here we go. Can you hear my guitar now and my voice?
Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. Perfect. Okay. Oh.
We thought we were hearing you. No, hang on. We're having a tech problem here now.
Oh no. One of those days.
Now
There
try
you
your
go.
guitar.
Okay.
Still a little quiet. Okay.
Oh, little quiet still?
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. What if I do this?
Perfect. A lot better.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear my voice too? Okay, great. Yay. All right. Well, what a great message today. And I think you folks will love this song now that we have this to go forth with. This is a song called Living in the Moment by Jason Mraz. And it's not just about living in the moment, but also clearing out what doesn't serve us anymore. So hope you enjoy. If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just wanna be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. Got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm letting myself off the hook for things that I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can be the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who'll always remind me to live in the moment, live my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. Got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. One more time. Living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. Got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. Living in the moment.
All right. Thank you, Jalen. We'll see you again
Thank
soon,
you so
honey.
much. Have a great Sunday, everyone.
All right. Mahalo nui. Thank you so much. And now we come into the time as our ushers come forward to bless these gifts and offerings. And so as it is, and so let's do this together. Here it is. Through Spirit, we know that as we give, so shall we receive. We dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will, your work in this center, in our lives, in our community. And so it is. Mahalo Keakua. Thank you, ushers. We appreciate your service. Don't miss next Sunday. We got Reverend Sophia. Her topic will be your inner source of empowerment. Discover the power within and the source of your own approval, control, and security. And in closing, we'd like to ask everybody, please feel free to tell your friends and family about the Facebook event. We broadcast live every Sunday morning, 10 o'clock on Facebook, Unity of Kona, as well as YouTube, Unity of Kona, and Twitch, if you got some gamers out there. So check us out all over the internet. And so as we hold each other in our hearts, we'll now form a circle right behind the cameras as we get ready to do our two closing songs that we always like to do. Let there be peace on earth and aloha oi. Don't forget refreshments upstairs for a little fellowship after service. There's always a little something to nosh on. And there's a sign-up sheet up there, too, if you'd like to bring something for the service fellowship hour. All right, we got the big circle today. The circle of light, circle of love. peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony.
Perfect harmony.
Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And as we change our stories in life, make it a good one, as we can all find the blessings of light and love, especially living in Hawaii. But, let's spread it to the world. But change your stories and live your lives to the best of your abilities. And until we meet again, aloha oi. Aloha oi. Aloha oi. Eke ona ona no ikaliko. One fond embrace. Aloha heao. Until we meet again. As we say, ahui ho, until we meet again, my friends. Again, we got refreshments upstairs and maybe a little closing music. And if you want to pick up your things in the sanctuary as we're getting ready to do the crystal healing. If you're not getting the newsletter, see Elaine in the blue dress right here. She'll take your emails and get that all settled up. We got some music? Yeah? Yes. Yeah, okay.
Technical difficulties.
All right, here we go.
E Hawaii e kuone au nau e Uho e kulai vine Oli noa ina pono ladio E Hawaii aloha E Hawaii na orio o Hawaii
That's it, my friends. See you next week. Hui ho.